back into the far, distant, and primitive year of around 95 or so. There was this thing called a Nintendo, a console that hosted this huge catalog of Nintendo type games with Nintendo branded characters, and that's excluding every Pokemon's. And where there is this massively extensive list of characters from the original console, there weren't many Nintendo characters that I could truly relate with. And as a former fat child, I couldn't compare to the likes of Mario with his Slim Jim fit. I couldn't be Donkey Kong with his flexing strength. And where every other character failed, he arose. This thing. If there was ever a character I could relate to with the most as your typical food enjoyer, it was Mr. Jack Kirby. This is where his journey all began. I felt like keeping it simple and decided to dive into Kirby's Adventure, the first Kirby game to be put on the market. And listen, I get this might be too much of a kid's game, but what's that? No. This wasn't the first Kirby game. No. Really? He started on the Game Boy. Alright, that changes it up. This was the first console Kirby game to be put on the market. And for an original Nintendo game, this was pretty damn enjoyable. When it comes to the original Nintendo games, an adjective that usually gets tossed around to describe your typical Nintendo game experience would be hard or difficult. A lot of the games from this era were pretty damn unforgiving a majority of the time. And yeah, Nintendo had some tough bastards as well to mess with your child's brain. But thankfully, Kirby was never one of those IPs. In fact, he might have had the easiest game to offer on this damn machine. This isn't supposed to be Castlevania with BS instant kills and painful platforming. This is supposed to be chill and mindless to play. Mindless to a certain degree. This is a platformer where you can infinitely jump forever and ever, never to stop until you say so. Makes this a breeze to play through, since your feet never have to touch the ground and all the minions are on the ground. You never have to worry about dying ever. You fat sh**. Not only can Kirby inflate, but you also suck. Also, Kirby eats people. If you've never played Smash Brothers, or you never touched a Kirby game in your life because you didn't like to think about what thoughts that lie behind that face. Kirby is famous for his self-taught special ability to suck people up and decide whether he wants to spit them out or consume them in order to inherit that enemy's ability. You get to decide what kind of attack you possess throughout the whole game. Kirby doesn't know Kung Fu, so he has to learn it the only way he knows how, and that's to eat their brains out to find out. That's how obtaining knowledge works. How else do you think I got through college?
The moon haunts you!
Better stop that vehicle!
Kirby is so freaking cute. I don't know how they made such a simple designed character so cute, but somehow I would like every plushie of him that I could possibly find to remind me every day of why I love him so much. He's just a circle with more circles painted with varying shades of pink. He kicks ass. And he's ready for dinner at all times. How can we make him real? Kirby puts this unique spin on what would normally be a very basic platformer and sets itself up for some truly interesting game design. They could keep making side-scrolling levels just like Super Juan over here, but Kirby can fly. Why not play some horizontal levels as well? And for how colorfully cute he is, why not have cute music with cute environments, with fun, cute colors, with enemies, and make it a little fun-sized, charming game for anyone to try out. Yeah, that just makes sense. Now, I will say, with everything being so cute and admirable, this is still an NES game, meaning that even though it's one of its easiest games on the console, it doesn't let you off the hook with difficulty. I mean, is this game easy? Well, in comparison to Ninja Gaiden, you might as well consider this mercy. The closer you are to endgame, the more it starts to test how well you've mastered Kirby's traversal, plus how much you were able to adapt with every enemy's ability thus far. You see, whenever you have an ability, you hold on to that specific ability until you dispose of it, or until you get hit. You then have one of two choices. Pick a new enemy to obtain whatever ability they possess and rough it out, or try to regain that power you just lost/dropped. It drops in the form of a star. Kirby gets his power from those stars, whether those stars contain an ability or potentially nothing. And with the nothing stars, they can still be shot out as their own form of attack. For a game that at first glance appears to be straightforward, simple, and it's just another stupid kitty-witty game for dumb kids, It's surprisingly not. The powers alone come with its own experimental testing that the player has to feel out to sense which power works best for their gameplay, which power a particular enemy is weakest against, which one can actually show me more secrets, which power is the one that actually impairs you. That's actually the sleep ability. Never take the sleep. Only sleep for 2 hours a night. That's all you need. It's surprisingly challenging and thought-provoking. Even with these powers given to you, this game can kick your ass. One of the few games I can think of where the basic enemies from the first stage also pop up late game and still somehow kill me. Nothing stops you though. Run on through. You're a god amongst these feeble creatures. Take your kingdom and reign supreme over your land. Be free! Eat your mutton! It definitely comes with its own set of challenges, but something that makes this adventure tolerable is the much needed help of a save file. Oh my god, save files on an NES game. I know that sounds dumb, but this is not as common as you'd like it to be. If you had to leave for whatever reason and didn't want to lose all of your progress, the only way to save back then was to either leave your console on and pray to God that your cat doesn't parkour through every cable you need attached for your console to stay on, or you had to know a passcode or secret level skip to get you back to where you left off. No save states, no memory cards, straight prayers. Not only that, but this game made sure to provide you with as many one-ups as you possibly could get in order to live to see the end. Before the final fight, I had like 10 lives or something like that. Actually double, I think. I felt comfortable doing some trial and error with my abilities and not feel at risk of losing it all. And for an NES game, it just needed to be that way, man. Hell, they made getting one-ups fun and engaging. I mean, some puzzle solving was involved, but mainly that fun of extra lives was found in the minigames. These were great. A Kirby crane game with usual crane game carny bulls, quick draw shooter game that tests your button pushing reflexes to its absolute fullest, and Egg. I like Egg game is fun. It's very addicting. It's very addicting. Everything about this makes this such an insufferably adorable game. If you ever get tired of playing any basic platformer, this is honestly a very fun one to hop into for a slight game changer to the usual platformer formula. And it isn't incredibly hard to get through. Not long at all. Incredibly rewarding. I don't care that this wasn't the first game in the series. I'm glad I started here. And how does Kirby's adventure end? Kirby sucks. And that's good, because otherwise that would make it a stupidly short game now, wouldn't it?